Yo, good morning. It is like 5:40 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, and it's sprinkling out here. Yo, Sierra, if I watch this and find out I ain't got nothing over my head, she gonna be mad. But I'm up on the way to work. A few hours earlier than normal. Because we got a busy day today. Matter of fact, we got a busy week, man. About to jump in the Millennium Falcon, aka the family van, real quick. If she decides she won't let me in, she being mad rude this morning. But yeah, so I'm heading in to work at 6 o'clock this morning so that I can get off early today. Boom, there we go. See, wow. Man, sometimes I miss my Mustang. Then I realized 6 people can't fit no Mustang, so. But yeah, I'm going there so that I can get off early because I got a lot of stuff cracking today. And so I figured with this ambitious goal, which I'll get into in a second, why not record this whole weekend? Because as I was sitting there working last night, she was like, oh, so you're not going to record your process no more? And I was like, yeah, I've been kind of just tapped in, just focusing on other stuff. Doggone garage door want to close. So I really been focusing on recording, but I was like, you know what? Yeah, she right. I need to get back to her. 9 times out of 10, whenever she says something, she's usually right anyway. So I was like, all right, let me get to it. But thing is, among other things, like outside of work and other stuff I get into later on, I'm working on a double EP of instrumentals. So like the first one's gonna come out on the 28th of October. New Year of our Lord 2022. The next one's gonna come out on November 11th, on my son's birthday. And of course, it's Go With God Volume 2, and then the next one's gonna be like 2.2. And like just the meaning behind that is just gonna be like, of course, it's like Volume 2, you know, because the second installment, you know, of my whole Go With God series that he had me start earlier this year. Actually, some years ago, but I actually released the first one earlier this year. But I was gonna make it one whole project, but then as I was breaking it down, he just reminded me about just 5 being the number of grace. And I had enough, like, almost to make 3, but you know, everything didn't fit. And then the story he wanted me to tell, you know, it just kind of fit, like, but not that they can't fit together. It was almost like they were telling like two different sides of the same story. And so I was like, well, yo, and I had 2 covers, like just this whole double thing. Like, that's one of the like the reoccurring words that guys like constantly been reminding us, you know, of things that have not come to pass, not fully yet. You know, like he's gonna give us like double for our trouble, like double blessings, you know, double portion. You know, if you think about like Elisha, SHA asking Elijah, JAH, before he goes and ascends up to heaven, like, yo, let me get a double portion of what you got or whatever. And he says, like, yo, you see me when I get taken up into the clouds, you know, then you'll get it, you know. And so it's just this double thing. So, like, even like on the cover of Volume 2, it's me and Sierra on there instead of just me. Like, the first one was just me, then the second one is me and her. I don't know if I'll keep that a running theme. Like, Volume 3 will have 3 of us on the cover or something, you know, but like, you know, we'll just see what the Lord has in store. But just, you know, there was that. Then, of course, it was like, oh, okay, you got the Volume 2. You got 2 of us on the cover, the Second Chance. You know, like, that's one of the interludes that I did for. It's called Second Chance Interlude. I think that's pretty dope. It's just reoccurring theme, just like a redemption, or like, you know, like how, like, in all of our daily walks, you know, like, we can get it wrong. Probably need to hit this light. Let me see if I can hit it without wrecking. Boom. Although it's like mad spotlightish. But, you know, like, we can miss the mark, you know, but God is so gracious and merciful that he gives us that second chance or whatever, you know, to get it back right. You know, if we, you know, miss a move or like we get out of step, you know, he, you know, corrects us, realigns us, and gives us a shot, you know, to get it right again. And then for the person that doesn't know Christ, you know, like, they've been living one life, you know, one kind of way, they can get back right, you know, with him or whatever. And so that's kind of like the redemptive story about this, just from music standpoint. Like with Volume 1, it was kind of like, it was extreme obedience, like, because I missed the mark. Like, I had created something and he told me to release it and I didn't feel confident and strong in it, so I didn't release it. And I sat on and I tried to move on and try to do other stuff, almost like Jonah running away, from going to Nineveh. And he still allowed me, he still kept us out here, and stuff like that. And then once, he again had to send that wake-up call, that alarm for me or whatever, he finally sat me down and I had some time, he got me to a place where I was, creative again, and I was working. And, things was flowing, and he was like, yeah, I still need you to drop that volume 1, though. And I was like, but I lost all my files, though. So, like, I was like, but it's not finished. I can't, tweak it. I can't do whatever. And, God was like, okay, and? So I had to drop that joint, like, raw. Like, whatever I had is what I had, and that was my offering, And a lot of times we think, like, it has to be perfect for God. You definitely want to give your first fruit, your best fruit to God. But sometimes, like, whatever we have in our hand, which, is like a reoccurring thing in the Bible, you always ask people, like, what you got in your hand? Stretch that out. Like, what do you have to offer? All I got is this little bit of, bread and some oil, like, yeah, make some bread with that. There you go. That'll last you, like, I got this little bit of jar oil. Pour that oil out, it'll last you. I'll make sure it stretches, And so I did that. And then things started clicking, doors started opening up. And then, fast forward to where we at right now. I, got a new job, highest paying job I've had before, like we still, we're still grateful. We still, like, it ain't like, we done made it and, overcame fully yet, at least not like, physically, like on earth as it is in heaven. But I was just getting caught up in life, and just like serving the church and, just everyday, like just husband life, parent life, all of that. And like, I still had music on my mind, but it was like, yeah, I get back to it. And so I realized I was gradually slipping back into the same thing before. And not that because I lost confidence in it, but it was just like because I felt like I had to maintain and juggle, or like, let me focus on this one thing first. And once I get strong in it, then, I'll switch back over. But, God had to remind me, like, yo, look, it's all about balance. You put too much weight on one side, it's going to snap, it's going to crumble. And he showed me that in the past season, where I, stopped focused on, stop having a healthy balance of music or whatever else he wanted me to focus on. And, stewarding the physical, i.e. like having my job or working and stuff like that. But then also, on the flip side, like focusing, solely on music, but then you don't have like the physical means to maintain and, take care of your family, So like you're going to need both. And so he reminded me of that by way of Sierra, my wife, again. And she was like, yo, because I was working on, stuff. And I was like, still saying, yeah, volume 2. And she was like, ain't you supposed to drop that in October? And I was like, oh. So I think it just hit October, man. And I'm like, man, I ain't got time. But like, she was absolutely right. He had said, like, yeah, volume 2 needs to be in October. I'm like, man, how am I going to do it? There's so much work to do, man. But God provided the blueprint, provided the game plan. So that's where we at now, man. So the game plan this weekend, or like, actually, I'm gonna probably pull an all-nighter tonight, where I'm gonna stay up. So I'm already started working on, like I said, a 2.2. It's definitely not finished, or not even close to finished by no means. Like, because volume 2 like has a lot of tracks. Well, it has 2 new tracks, and then 3 where I just never used them. I never presented them as an offering, if you will. Like, it reminded me, like, as I was thinking about it this morning, about the man with the talents who said he hid them. Like, I made the beats, but then I never actually, like, offered them up. Like, I never, like, released them the proper way. Like, I might have played them on Instagram on a couple of reels and stuff, but as God showed me in this past season, that's not offering. That's not what I told you to do. And so he guided me through, like, showed me, like, brought some, things back to my remembrance. Like, yo, this is how you release. Like, oh, okay, I do have DistroKid. Oh, okay, like, yeah. Like, yo, this is how you, make a cover for, like, do all these, put the work in or whatever. And so 3 of the tracks are going to be from a past season. I just went back and revamped them, mixed them, because now, like, my mixing's gotten better, way better. At least I halfway know what I'm doing, or a quarter of the way know what I'm doing. Back then it was just, crank that joint up, make it sound loud, and, keep it pushing. But, yeah, 2 new tracks, 3 revamped, remixed ones, and remixed as in, like, remixed on the leveling and, sonics and stuff like that. Not like it's a different type of beat. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna knock that out this week. I'm gonna, like, make all the, like, the small tweaks and stuff like that, and then get that ready To like we uploaded. I probably will upload it this weekend on DistroKid, and then I make an announcement for like pre-release or something like that, or like a pre-download, or whatever they call it, pre-save it. And then I'm gonna finish volume 2.2. Like the cover's done for that. I just finished like the rough, tweaks and stuff like that on the intro for it. I still want to go back in and like make those fine-tune adjustments. Like I was saying, I'm gonna make this weekend on volume 2, but I gotta do that on on 2.2, at least on that intro track or whatever. And then the rest of them I actually gotta make. So between now and November the 10th, I might as well say, because ain't no way I'm still working on this on the 11th. It's supposed to come out. Like we ain't gonna pull no Kanye since midnight and I ain't put it out. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna finish everything this weekend. And the reason behind that, I mean, outside of just wanting not to procrastinate, like, and trying to use my time, because, not trying to move as if tomorrow is promised or whatever. So, I had a dream the other night, and pretty much, I know God sent us, here for a reason, and I know the warfare is real, and spiritual side and all that other stuff, but, like, pretty much I don't know if you would call them the principalities or just some guards of the principalities, or like the, how do you say, like the demonic, enforcers, if you will, of this land pretty much presented themselves to me in the dream in a form that, without getting into it to be too charged or whatever, should put fear in the heart of a black man in America, because of all the drama, the trouble, the heartache, the lives that have been lost because of this quote-unquote innocent voice, or innocent-looking voice, speaking out. But it was two of them, and how they presented themselves or whatever was, pure and innocent, if you will, and I'll just leave it at that. But, yeah, and they were like, they presented themselves, like, you ever seen the movie The Shining? They went from being how they were to presenting themselves like them two little girls that was in the hallway that was like, come play with us, to the little boy in the movie or whatever. But they're like, yeah, we don't like you here, we don't want you up in here. And in the dream I had just bought a new house, like fresh on the block, black dude walking in the neighborhood or whatever, and they were in my yard, or out in the yard, around my, surrounding my house, whatever. It was two of them, and they were watching me. They were spying on me, seeing what's he doing here? We know who that is. And when they saw me walk in the house, because of course I'm checking out my property, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah, we don't want you here. You know why you're here, whatever. You can't be here. And if you stay here, we're gonna make your life hell. And I'm like, I was to be quite, just transparent and blunt, I was cocky and arrogant when I was in the world, and so I'm more or less confident, super confident in the spirit. So I'm like, hey, the house is bought, we here, ain't nothing y'all can do about it. You can't tell me where I can and can't buy a house at. I'm here, whether you want me to be here or not, so you have to deal with it. So they're like, okay, we know we can't touch you, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna make your life hell. We're gonna, do stuff, and if you try to speak out against us, then, you look like the bad guy, because we're young, we're innocent looking. Because like I said, they had transformed to looking like two little girls at this point. And so, gotta love that system, dog. Not really, but and so, yeah, they proceeded then to start causing havoc and chaos around my house. They were pulling out bowls and just being disruptive, just anything. They would just throw stuff, or breaking stuff, and just, trying to cause chaos. So I would chase them around. And so even in the dream, I was like, yo, I can't beat them like this or whatever. I know this is a spiritual attack. I have to fight them in the spirit. But because they're wreaking havoc on my stuff, I'm chasing after them. But the whole time, Holy Spirit is telling me, you're chasing them for nothing. You can't beat them like this or whatever. You trying to chase them to hey, put that down. Hey, put those paper back over there. I need those. You're just wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. And so when I realized what it was, and it's funny enough, time and energy, time and finances, time and money are the two the two roots, or the two principalities of the area that we're supposed to be fighting against. Because a lot of people, again, they chase after money so they can have more time, or they use their time to go after money, to chase after money, making it a god. And not that there's anything wrong with getting it, or but it's just like, what are you really supposed to be devoting your time to? And as long as I can keep you busy chasing your tail like a dog, I keep you occupied and off the things of God. So this is me with my fight back. Like my song said, this is how I fight my battle. So like, all right, you want to do time? I'm going to do time. I'm going to get in early so I can get off of work early, and I'm going to finish both my projects this weekend. So that's where we at. It's been a 15-minute video. We probably going to chop this up and take pieces out of this, and I'll probably upload like a whole joint. But yeah, the whole weekend I'm recording everything, dog. So yeah, y'all keep it locked. Like, I'm actually talking to a lot of people right now. But yeah, man, like, I hope y'all enjoy this content. I hope it blesses y'all. I hope that, it ministers, and, like, whether you're on the path to following Christ or not, man, like, a lot of this wisdom that God gives us in his word, like, it's applicable to anybody, whether you follow or not. But it's in my hopes and my beliefs that, by following, you see, like, these things start working in your life, that you'll, want to give your life to him and actually live for him. And I don't necessarily just mean like, oh, okay, I'm going to read the word and go to church, but actually live for him. Like, let him, into your life, to direct and instruct you and guide you. So on that note, man, yeah, to work I go on the IT tip, man. And yeah, y'all stay tuned. Be easy. Peace.